I'm starting with the Hero Arts Plum cardstock. I cut it to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I am stamping my image with the Hero Arts Unicorn White Pigment ink. The image I'm using here is from Gina Designs, and this one is called Beautiful Blooms. This image here is not perfectly stamped, which is fine because I'm going to stamp it over this image again after I finish my coloring. I'm using my Prismacolor pencils today. Started by coloring the highlighted area with blush pink. Then I'm going in with magenta as my midtone. I'm not being very precise with my coloring here as I just wanted to add a little depth and definition to my image. Now I'm coming in with my darkest color, which is Tuscan Red. I'm adding this color to the corners of the petals where it's supposed to be the darkest. Again, I'm adding a little bit of black color to the corners as I thought the Tuscan Red wasn't dark enough. Later, I will go back with all these colors to blend these colors together. Here I'm using the Tuscan Red again. I'm coloring these images very lightly as I wanted a subtle blend of colors. Here I'm going back with the blush pink in the highlighted areas. I colored the leaves very lightly with a sandbar brown. Added a little bit of the depth with dark brown on the corners of the leaves. This card is supposed to be a monochromatic card, so I didn't want to add a different color to the leaves. Here I'm bringing in my Misty again, so I can stamp the image again and emboss it with a white embossing powder. I use the same unicorn white ink to use as embossing ink for my image because it was already there. I sprinkled white embossing powder over the stamped image, tap the excess off, and then heat set it. Here I'm using the coordinating die to cut off the image. I'm not showing the whole die cutting process as my die cutting machine doesn't fit on my desk. Here I'm using another piece of the plum cardstock from Hero Arts for the background. I'm using the matinee rectangle die from Memory Box to cut the middle portion of this cardstock. I'm using the card base made out of accent opaque white cardstock in 110 pounds. I adhered the outside base of the die cut rectangle using art glitter glue. I glue it directly to the card base. For the middle part of the die cut, I'm adding a little bit of fun foam at the back for extra dimension. Then I added the die cut flower on one side of the card. Then I added the pre-stamped sentiment strip on the other side, I think which balances the composition of my card. To embellish my card, I add in some clear sequins. Finally, I cut off the overhanging pieces using a pair of scissors. This finishes my monochromatic card.